As I mentioned before, let's do our best to respect each other's opinions. And when someone is speaking, let's not interrupt them. Let's let them speak till they're finished. The objective is not to achieve some consensus. Please feel free to think whatever you want and say whatever you want. You don't have to agree with others. There may be various things that weren't clear to you about the dosha system. I hope you can raise questions to each other, hear other people's opinion, and get insight into the topic at hand. So I thank you for your cooperation. Let's get started then. The theme for the afternoon is what impact the dosha system will have on employment, etc. It's okay to jump right into the topic of employment, or if you wish, we could talk about the dosha system in more general terms also. Does anyone want to see the top banner for this topic? On page 16 and 17, it shows the gap in per capita income between the different prefectures. I think everybody agrees there shouldn't be too great gaps in income, be by region. By having the dosha system, as mentioned in the panel, the plenary, what will happen with the redistribution of income? If there's a good system for redistribution of income in the dosha system, then it might be good to delegate more of the powers to the states. But as the expert said, it all depends on what mechanisms are established. Rather than thinking about institutions first, why don't we think what we can do under the existing institutions? There may be a lot of issues that could be addressed by, running our current institutions better, rather than changing the institutions. There was talk about paying tax to your hometown, but it sounds like it would be quite troublesome to do that, rather than having such ad hoc ideas like this. I'm hoping that the dosha system would help the money to be used more fairly and equally throughout the nation, and help to revitalize the local regions. Rather than just asking as a question mark, will it change with dosha-sei? We should think how we can use the dosha-sei to revitalize the regions. Anyone else? You had trouble expressing your view a moment ago. Would you like to explain what you wanted to say again? There are merits and demerits, pros and cons. It's kind of hard to explain what I wanted to say. He said that there are merits and demerits. What are some of the merits or advantages of having the dosha system? Could people share their thoughts on that? Or what are the demerits, the disadvantages? In principle, I agree that we need to think about a system like the dosha system, but I'm very worried about something. We're talking about local government. Japanese are not good at local government. When you increase the responsibilities, people who are unaccustomed to doing this will be given more responsibility. It's important to be able to think about things for yourself, but it's easier said than done. I'm worried that there might be more corruption as a result. And there would need to be a mechanism to monitor and to prevent corruption. it's dangerous to do that. Right now, it's enough to monitor the central government. You know, and it's enough to criticize our prime minister if he's not doing a good job. But when the local governments have their own budget and are deciding their own policies, who's going to monitor and police that? You spoke about the decline of the primary industries. That's quite true. Under the current economic mechanism, no matter how much you make cheap farm products, the imports are still cheaper. There's no limit. In order to win in international competition, there's a need to increase our competitive power. I understand. But I wonder how far that is really possible. Under the doshu system, would we be able to give more value to the primary industries? Why don't we rethink the system and try to promote the doshu system so that it revitalizes agriculture? Then the doshu system might be very helpful. You say it's impossible to make any more factories in the cities, but there are open spaces where you could build them. Rather than promoting industry in natural areas and destroying nature, why not combine primary and secondary industries more in the region? Maybe it would be possible to rebuild the regional economies through a combination of the primary industry and secondary industries. Farming, fishing, and forestry are going to decline further unless we do something about them. I'm worried about that.